How are you doing, friend? I'm so glad you're here with me today on the Financial Planning for Working Moms podcast. And I'm starting with a question. Have you ever looked at your paycheck and thought, how is it still not enough? Even when you work hard and earn decent money, it can feel like there is never enough breathing room. Bills stack up, debt payments pull at every paycheck, and saving feels like something for someday, right? But what if I told you your debt is not the real reason you can't save money? It's not your credit card and not your car payment, and it's not even that balance staring back at you right now. But the real thing keeping most working moms stuck is something far more common. And once you fix it, saving money, paying off debt, and enjoying life can happen at the same time. Yes, it's all possible. So today, I'm going to show you how. Before we jump in, I wanted to share something with you real quick. If you love simple, practical money tips made for busy working moms just like you, come and join my weekly email community. Every week, I'll send you fresh encouragement, easy strategies you can actually use in real life, and you'll be the first to hear about exciting upcoming events inside financial planning for working moms. It's like a little boost of clarity, confidence, and support delivered straight to your inbox. You can join me today at dianagalas.com/newsletter. It's dianagalas.com/newsletter. I would love to have you there. Now, get your earbuds in, friend, and let's dive into the one thing that can truly help you save more, stress less, and finally feel on top of your money. If you're tired of debt calling your choices, bills running your day, and groceries eating your paycheck, and ready to finally live life on your terms, debt-free, guilt-free, and unstoppable, welcome to the Financial Planning Podcast. Hi, I'm Deanna, a mom of four, creator of the Two-Line Budget, a believer in big dreams and God-given purpose. I help working moms break free from financial overwhelm, take control of their money, and build the clarity, confidence, and peace you need to make wise financial decisions. Here you'll discover simple and practical financial solutions designed to strengthen your home and build lasting financial stability, and maybe enjoy a weekend escape. Because when money becomes simple, your whole life opens up, and I'm here to show you how. Friend, as you're driving to work right now, or maybe sipping your coffee, thinking about the day ahead, replaying everything you need to do, can we have a moment together? Somewhere along the way, that became the villain in every money conversation, and it gets blamed for everything. And little by little, we start believing that if debt disappeared, all the stress would disappear too. Maybe you've thought it on mornings like this while sitting at a red light or pulling into the parking lot. If I didn't have debt, I would finally be saving. Or if I didn't have debt, I could breathe again. Or if I didn't have debt, life could finally begin. And friend, I get why it feels that way. Debt feels heavy. And it's loud. It shows up every month asking for your money before you've even had time to think about your own goals, right? But Let me lovingly tell you something that might surprise you. Friend, that is often not the biggest problem. The bigger problem is financial chaos. It's money leaving your account with no clear plan. Then it's the quick swipes between errands and work that seem small but add up fast. It's bills living in 5 different places. It's carrying the mental load of remembering due dates, groceries, school needs, and everything else. It can be avoiding the numbers because you're already caring enough and trying to follow a budgeting system that feels like another job you don't have time for. That's the kind of stuff quietly draining your money while you're busy taking care of everyone else. And at the same time, it's stealing your peace. Now, picture this. You decide tonight is the night you're finally going to bake a beautiful cake you saw online. You pull out the recipe, then realize you need 3 bowls. The mixer is missing a piece. You preheat the oven. Your child wants help opening a snack. Someone yells they can't find their charger. The dog starts barking. And now the kitchen is a mess, right? Flour is on your shirt, and suddenly eating cookies straight from the package feels like self-care, right? So you quit. Not because you're bad at baking, but rather because the process was exhausting before the cake even made it into the oven. And friend, that's exactly how budgeting feels for so many working moms. You sit down determined to finally get it together. Then you open 3 apps, you pull up the bank account, and you start a spreadsheet. And then life interrupts. Your energy disappears, and suddenly a coffee run tomorrow feels less like spending and more like survival, right? So, if budgeting has felt impossible, it doesn't mean you're bad with money. It usually means the system was too exhausting before you even began. Just like that cake in the kitchen, that often gets blamed when the real problem is the chaos surrounding it. And the recipe wasn't the issue. The missing tools, the constant interruptions, and the overwhelming process were what made you want to quit. And money can feel the same way. That may be the most visible thing on the counter, so it gets all the blame. But many times, it's not the debt itself creating the deepest stress, all right? Friend, it's the lack of a simple plan around it. So here's the twist. That is not always the enemy people make it out to be. Sometimes it can simply become something you manage and move through when it's organized. Because, friend, think about that. Maybe it helped put a roof over your family's head through a mortgage. Or maybe it helped you get an education. Or maybe it helped you buy the car that gets you to work every day. And even maybe it supported your family in a season when you needed help. That doesn't mean it has to define you, right? Because that starts to feel dangerous when it's unmanaged, all right? And when balances feel scattered, when due dates sneak up on you, when you avoid looking because it feels too stressful. And when every payment feels like a crisis. And friend, when it feels like debt is leading your life. This is where it gets dangerous. But debt becomes much more doable when it has a plan. When you know what you owe, when you know what gets paid first, when you know what's coming next, right? And when your money has direction before it arrives, all right? That's when the pressure begins to lift. And when the chaos calms down, something powerful happens. Friend, you stop feeling controlled by debt and you start leading your money with confidence. And I want to tell something personal because I need you to hear this with hope, not pressure. All right? I paid off $47,000 in credit card debt in just 15 months. And no, I didn't do it by hating my life. And I didn't do it by saying no to every little joy. I didn't do it by spending hours staring at spreadsheets or becoming some kind of money expert overnight. No. But listen this, I did it with a simple plan, a clear focus, and steady consistency. And that's it. I still lived life. I still enjoyed moments with my family. And I still had a joy along the way. What changed was not that I became perfect. What changed was that I stopped letting money feel random. I gave my money direction. Little by little, month by month, progress started to happen. And friend, that's why I'm sharing this with you today. Not to impress you, but to remind you that change is possible for a busy, real-life woman with responsibilities. Because you don't need a perfect life to make progress. You don't need endless time. You don't need to know everything before you begin. Friend, you just need a simple way to start and the willingness to keep going. You're not set up to fail here, friend. You're more capable than you think. With the right plan, steady steps, and support, you can create the same kind of progress in your own life. And one day, you look back and realize that this season was the moment everything started to change. And this is exactly what I teach inside my financial stability coaching session because money should feel clear and supportive, not confusing and exhausting. We start with something I call a brain sweep. This is where you take everything swirling around in your mind, all the needs, all your wants, responsibilities, your goals, your dreams. Yes, and you can dream in the middle of all of this, and you unload all the things that you keep trying not to forget, and you put it onto paper in an organized way. And we do this together in our coaching session because sometimes the biggest stress is not just the bills, it's carrying everything in your head. Once it's out of your mind and in front of you, you can finally breathe. Then we turn that mental clutter into a simple plan. The first thing what we do, we take care of your monthly bills. This is your foundation, the things that must be paid each month. Things like your mortgage or rent, your utilities, insurance payments, then debt payments. Yes, these are your priorities. Then all needed subscriptions, then essential household expenses. You organize all these things and you know what is due. You know when it's due, right? Without surprises, without guessing, and no last minute panic. Another very important thing we establish is your weekly spending. It's your little system. This is real life money. It's the everyday expenses that need attention each week. And friend, your groceries, your gas expenses, school extras, then your fun money, your gifts, eating out, these are not your categories. This is your one main expense that I'll teach you how to take care of it without 20 different categories. Because this is where awareness grows and overspending starts to shrink without needing to track every tiny thing all day long. All right? And that's it. These are your 2 lines, not 12 tabs, not 20 categories, right? Not money confusion. And you won't need a dozen of debit cards for each category. Just a system busy moms can actually keep up with. And then we organize that in a clear order so it stops feeling like a giant pile of pressure. Now, friend, stay with me for a minute because this next part matters more than you think. Because so many moms start out fired up. Maybe it's after looking at the bank account, or feeling frustrated after another tight month, or maybe after listening to this episode, right? Or promising themselves, this is it. I'm fixing this for real now. And you go into full attack mode. No fun, no breathing room, no grace. Just cut everything, right? Deprive everything and push as hard as possible. And it feels productive at first, like finally taking control. But a few weeks later, life happens. A school expense pops up. Someone needs new shoes, or you're exhausted after work and you just want one small thing that feels enjoyable. And suddenly the whole plan feels impossible to maintain. That's why I need to tell you this. The biggest mistake moms make when trying to pay off debt fast is not spending too much. It's trying to punish themselves into progress. And friend, that never lasts. I really need you to hear me on this. Friend, you are allowed to live your life while you build your financial future. You're allowed to save money and pay off debt and still enjoy being human in the process, all right? And that means you can plan the vacation without guilt. You can buy the birthday gift and not spiral afterward. You can go out to dinner sometimes just because you're tired and need a break. And you can build memories with your family while also building wealth at the same time. This is not about living in misery or putting your life on hold until everything is perfect. Friend, it's more about how you manage your finances. It's about giving every dollar a job so your life doesn't feel like constant guessing or reacting or stress. And when money finally has direction, when it's not just floating around in chaos, you get to breathe again. So no, that is not automatically what's keeping you stuck, all right? What keeps you stuck is the chaos. It's the avoidance. It's the overcomplicated systems that make everything feel heavier than it needs to be. But friend, when you bring in a simple plan, everything starts to shift. Debt starts to shrink. Saving starts to grow. And slowly, peace you've been craving starts to return. And I really want you to hear this. Friend, you do not have to wait until you're completely debt-free to start feeling financially strong, okay? You can begin right now in this season with what you already have, because strength doesn't come from perfection. It comes from clarity and direction. That doesn't control a woman with a plan, okay? Write that down. I want you to hear this, friend. That doesn't control you when you have a plan. Put it somewhere you'll see it this week, on your mirror or in your car, in your notes app. Let it remind you who you are becoming, okay? And if this episode encouraged you today, if it helped you breathe a little easier or see money in a new way, I would love to stay connected with you. I send out a weekly email made just for working moms like you. Simple money tips, encouragement for your real life, and first access to new tools, coaching sessions, and upcoming events designed to help you feel more calm and confident with your money. You can join me anytime at dianagales.com/newsletter. I would genuinely love to have you there. And if today's episode spoke to you, would you take a quick second to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts? Because it helps more working moms find this show and start their own journey toward financial peace too. And friend, I'm cheering for you. Keep showing up, keep simplifying, keep leading your money with confidence. And I'll see you next week on the Financial Planning for Working Moms podcast. I am glad you joined me today. If this episode lifted some weight off your shoulders, pass that lightness on to another woman who could use it too. Make sure to follow the Financial Planning Podcast so each week you can unwrap simple money strategies helping you design and build financial stability at your home and experience the clarity, peace, and direction your life is craving. You're doing better than you think, truly. Keep going and keep leading your money, not chasing it. Right here, your clarity grows, your confidence builds, and your new financial story begins. One week, one step, one win at a time.